Forget Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura, where he called a bald man with a monocle Mr. Monopoly, but Mr. Monopoly never had a monocle in this timeline. Forget David Carriere in Full House. Yeah, Uncle Joey doesn't exist. He was never an uncle. Nope. He was just Danny's friend. He was never officially an uncle in Full House. Forget you have never been to Payless Shoe Stores. You have never been to Payless Shoe Stores because it doesn't exist. Nope, it is Payless Shoe Stores. Shoe Stores doesn't exist in this timeline. Never forget the Miss Doubtfire actress Sally Fields is actually named Sally Field. Yes, you like me, you really, really like me. Oscar winner Sally Field. There has never been an S in this timeline. Never been an S. You're misremembering. And her brother just so happens to be one of the top scientists in CERN. Not making that up. That's a real fact. Never forget American pastor Joel Osteen is not a real person. It's actually Joel Osteen. There's no L in his name. Not never. Nope, nope, nope. You don't remember it because it doesn't exist. Never forget the Road Runners catchphrase. Yes, what is the American cartoon, the Road Runners catchphrase? Meep, meep. Nope, you're wrong. In this timeline, it's beep, beep. He's actually mimicking a car. Beep, beep. Meep, meep is something that we all made up in our head because it doesn't exist in this timeline. 1950 show Bewitched. What was her signature move she did before she did magic? Was it wiggle her nose? Nope, that doesn't exist in this timeline. Nope, she never wiggled her nose in this timeline. Look it up. She only wiggled her lips. Yes, her lips. She has never wiggled her nose in this timeline. Get it together. You're misremembering.
I think they're doing all this because, never forget, you've never owned anything and you've always liked it. Matter of fact, play the song for him right quick.
Ain't got no cash, ain't got no car, but 24 booster shots in your arm. Oh, nothing. Be happy. You can't even buy shit in the store because of your low social credit score. Oh, nothing. Be happy. You'll own nothing. And be happy.
I'm finna slap the fire out of somebody. I know that. Keep playing with me. Fucking around so much. Let's go to the next clip.
Take a look at this truck spilling meat all over the highway in North Carolina. Now, do you see the name of this truck? Bumgarner Services. Now, oddly enough, in North Carolina, there is a business called Bumgarner Family Funeral Service.
Okay, that could be a coincidence, McConaughey. You don't know, but I know what you're implying, especially because Trump said he's gonna order 300,000 pounds of meat. Listen, we gotta stop being hypochondriacs and just understand the American government has our best interests in their minds. You understand? Like, let's try to be rational. No, I'm just saying, I'm gonna let you finish, Goldilocks, but just let's stop with the conspiracy. There is a rational explanation for all this. I hope there is.
That's a coincidence, right? What about when Daddy Trump decided to throw that Halloween party? And he had a very weird Halloween costume pull up to get candy. You see, the McDonald's sign says billions and billions served, but there are 2 kids in the stroller. That is also just a coincidence. Just like this really old and creepy McDonald's commercial where he's pulling things out of the food bag and he ends up pulling a child out of the bag. Well, it pops up on its own. But do you not find that to be
innocently delicious? Well, I did before I knew they used human meat. Allegedly. I don't know what they use. According to the Founder movie, they using wood chips and silly putty and the shit. I mean, I'm good with that.
Rockstar intentionally leaked Grand Theft Auto 6. Now you might be like, why the fuck would they do that? Why? Well, Take-Two owns Rockstar, and Take-Two is owned by BlackRock. BlackRock owns the entire world. You people fail to realize this shit every time because you're so immersed in the fucking storyline. But you fail to ask yourself, why is this being shown to me? Why? They want you to think it's about disc, physical disc, media. But you also don't realize that's another agenda that these people are pushing because they want you to feel like the internet is fighting back. They want you to feel like people are taking control of corporations when it's actually the fucking opposite because you people are going to have a DedSec watchdog storyline where y'all going to be fucking cooked. Web 3.0. But people aren't realizing this shit. People are just so quick. Oh my God, GTA, yes, yes. You never sit down and ask yourself any sort of questions. You're just dick riding. Do you know if BlackRock owns everything, nigga, why wouldn't they do this shit? Why the fuck wouldn't they do this shit? They're investing in something bigger. But most of the people that see this shit, they're not thinking like this. And that's why a lot of y'all niggas is finna be cooked. I'm sorry to say. The fuck? They don't need your fucking money. They don't need you. They need you to do what they want you to do. They're losing the choice. The red pill or the blue pill. It's the same fucking shit, nigga. And until niggas realize this shit, y'all gonna be trapped, bro. I'm sorry to tell you, bro.
Well, I don't want this to be true, but I don't know that he's wrong all the way. I'm hoping for the best with 2027, but I'm expecting the worst. How about you? You leave it in the comments and tell me.
Does seeing these robots make you feel safe or concerned?
Neither. It's making me want to play a video game, but I can't do that because PlayStation and God knows who else is getting rid of physical media. Buying is no longer owning.
After China unveiled armed humanoid and robot dog prototypes, the United States is now testing its own military robots. Built to carry weapons and fight on the battlefield, they could change warfare forever. Supporters say they'll save soldiers' lives. Critics warn they're the beginning of autonomous killing machines. If conflict escalates, could America one day send robots into Iran instead of troops?
Could America one day mind their motherfucking business and just worry about us Americans? No is the answer to that question. Why did I even ask myself that?
Crazy world we live in right now. You should never go outside without your body camera on. Don't be using your phone to film something. Oh, I got to get to my phone. I got to get to it. And you've missed everything. Or you're standing there like this, like, I'm filming everything. No, just always have your body camera. Look at it. Did you even notice it right there? Look how small it is. It's pocket size. I can put it right on my shirt if I want, or I like to put it right here in my pants. And when I go out, I just record everything my eyes see. And if something exciting happens or something crazy happens, I have the footage right here. Have your body camera on. You'll be glad you did.
The messed up part is he's not even wrong. I mean, women, if you're out here dating, men, if you're out here dating, gotta watch everybody because they're watching us with these flock cameras. Dude, you can never be too safe. Goodness gracious.
The more you look into Catholic churches, the more some of this shit starts looking questionable. For centuries, they use symbols that people say look like ancient ones. Even the Pope's hat has been compared to the head of an ancient fish god. Then you got carvings on the wall showing what appears to be Anunnaki figures holding a pine cone. And what's crazy is there's a giant pine cone statue at the Vatican. Even some of the crosses and staffs used by the Pope look similar seen in ancient carvings. And that upside down cross, you can actually find that in Catholic churches too. Now, this is for entertainment purposes. They're just theories and comparisons. And then the video ends with a priest putting a human skull inside of a statue. So the question is, what exactly are we looking at?
I honestly don't know what I'm looking at, bro. I'm not trying to accidentally connect no dots. I am curious why he's wearing a tiny hat though, but you leave it in the comments and tell me. I don't know.
Okay, so now I'm getting freaked out because terms like grinding, getting this bread, putting yourself on a treadmill, all these things go back to when in medieval society, if you were a prisoner, you would be on a mill treading and grinding the grain. So you would be in prison. They would make you get on this mill device and walk on it until it would grind the grain and it would make bread. So that's where all these terms come from. Get this bread, got to get this bread, grinding, and you go and you work out on a treadmill. Guys, we've been literally tricked into thinking in this low vibrational prisoner mindset with almost everything. There are so many things out there, I bet, that this could be related to. That's probably just the tip of the iceberg, to be honest. There's probably so much more out there, but I'm honestly kind of getting freaked out because I'm afraid that everything might be like this. All the words. Who am I kidding? I'm going to be up all night looking up more of this stuff.
Don't forget this popular one in the hood, go against the grain. Who else says that? You guys tell me, but I know I've been saying that for years. Well, people have been telling me, yo, son, you going against the grain. That's a way to get your haircuts. The barber will ask you, you want me to cut with the grain or against the grain? I don't know. I know some of you is like, you sure don't know a lot of shit. That's how you stay alive, dumb nigga. The fuck is you talking about? Being dumb is smart. Haven't you seen 1984? That leads us into this clip.
It's called witchcraft. People don't know what the root it is. It's like arts and crafts. It's not called arts and crafts. It's magic arts and witchcraft. That's what it is. Like, people don't know how insidious and how involved witchcraft is in our world. They're totally blind to it. Our English language is an occultic language. It's witch tongue, actually. We are speaking, this is witch tongue. But here's the thing, like, it is intentionally created language to deceive you. That's why this language is called grammar and spelling. Do you know what spelling means? It means spell casting. Do you know what grammar means? Grammar? Grammar is the root word grimoire. And if you type into etymology.com, type in etymology of grammar, it will tell you it means mumbo jumbo, witchcraft, incantation, spells, gram. This word is witchcraft. That's why it's called Instagram, telegram. They're telling you instant witchcraft. Why do you think this is called a screen? Where do you think the word screen comes from? It comes from scrying. Okay, it's a scrying device. That's where screen comes from. And they would look into a crystal ball. What are your phones? Glass, what do they call that? LCD? Liquid crystal display? That's weird.
What is that? Dude. That's crazy. What just happened?
What the fuck?
Oh my god. Is it a storm? Did somebody wreck? Did something blow up? What the fuck?
That was not a hurricane. That was not a natural disaster. That was mass genocide. That was all about a land grab. That was all about gentrification. This reminds me of exactly what happened in Oscarville, Georgia, when it was flooded and they created Lake Lanier. 20 years later, and the truth is finally starting to come to the light. Everything the media told us 20 years ago was an absolute lie. Ryan Coogler just recently came out with a documentary regarding Hurricane Katrina, and it exposed so many things that a lot of us knew for so long. Not only that, there are so many survivors speaking out on TikTok that are sharing their stories, and when I tell you, it is gut-wrenching, it is horrifying, it is horrific. These people lived an absolute nightmare, okay? All I'm gonna say is, if you have not watched this documentary, please go watch it. Follow the hashtag, y'all. These stories are so mind-blowing that I can't even put them into words right now. It's unreal, y'all. Heartbreaking. That's all I'm gonna say.
And it's bad. I mean, I see, just like on TV, I came home from work yesterday and I saw on Oprah Winfrey show. They was talking about who's the baddest bitch now. I mean, is that something for at a 4 o'clock afternoon, you know what I'm saying? I mean, kids watch this at a 4 o'clock afternoon. Now, that's something that's heavy to say, you know, I'm a bad bitch, and then the word kept going. You know, see, it's the images that these kids get, it's the images.
Imagine a world where the system never wanted leaders, just bloodline actors. Look deeper, almost every U.S. president, from George Washington to George Bush, traces back to the same royal bloodline. Even Obama, the so-called outsider, is a distant cousin to Dick Cheney and George W. Bush. They didn't break the cycle with Obama. They perfected it. He was the one they knew could sell hope while keeping power in the family. The face changed, the lineage didn't. They gave us a black president not to empower us, but to keep us asleep. To make it look like the system works while every move is already scripted. And while we cheered for history, they tightened the chains. Public schools, they're not for learning, they're for programming. They drain imagination, kill risk, punish rebellion. They raise generations to follow, clock in, stay quiet, and never question. A controlled classroom creates a controlled society, and a president with the right face keeps that classroom in check. If the game is rigged from birth, did your vote ever matter at all?
I want to tell myself my vote matters, but I also want to tell myself this tarot card girl I just met only wants my love and not my soul. Lord, why do you make it so difficult for me? I'm just asking, Lord.
Why do the Masons have a G in the compass? G is the 7th letter, which is 7, the number of matter. The 7 planets give you the 7 chakras, the 7 metals, the 7 days, the 7 colors. 12 is the number of mind. The 12 zodiac give you the 12 cranial nerves, the 12 systems of the body, and the 12 cell salts. The 5 elements give you the 5 senses, the 5 fingers, the 5 toes, and the 5 points in the body. The term as above, so below corresponds with all things. You can study the micro, and you will study the macro, because all things are in all things. The torus field is the only form that really exists. You can see the U torus here, the wormhole, the Stargate. You can see it has as above, so below apples on many torus fields. And torus fields give you the binary code of this creation. 0 and 1, the male and the female. 0 is the cosmic egg, which contains all attributes of God and all potential. 1 is the beginning and end of all things. It is the binary code. Man is a reflection of the stars and this whole creation. All things are in all things. We are the universe experiencing itself. These are just the tip of the iceberg. Every number, every body part, every symbol you have ever seen in your life is connected in ways you have never been taught, because no one wants you to see the whole picture. The truth is not out there. It is encoded within you. If this knowledge has opened a door in your mind, imagine what will happen when you read the book that pieces all the fragments together. The Book of Wisdom is that book, and once you open it, you will never again be misled by those in power and led down the wrong path.
If you want your own copy of this book, leave it in the comments. I'll leave a link for you.
You want to know what Nile really means? Video for entertainment purposes only. These are side-by-sides. Human skull, Africa. Human skull, Africa. Now, if you notice, they both have what look like eye sockets. See? Here and here, right where the mouse cursor is. Now, if you take this line back, this sutra, it runs back just like the one in the skull, from the eye back. See, here is the skull, and you have this sutra that runs all the way to the back of the skull, okay? Well, here is Africa, all right? And you've got this one that runs all the way to the back of Africa. Now, if you look at Africa as a whole, it already does have the shape of a skull, okay? But if you come down here, see the mouse cursor? You've got the jugular vein, or the carotid artery. Now, Matthew 6:22, let the eye be single and the body shall be full of light. Now, if you look at the eye socket right here, and you notice this line going straight up to the very top, that is known as the cerebral sutra, aka the Nile River. Now, once again, you can see what looks like an eye socket, and then you've got the Nile running straight up to the top. Nile, N-I-L-E. This is also why you can find the word Nile in the place that Jacob seen God face to face. He called it Peniel, which pineal is an anagram for your pineal gland. This is also where all you Helens and Ellens get your name from. Now, in the Bible, you hear about the pineal gland, or the third eye, being referred to as the torch or the lamp of the body. The name, I'm going to call it Elin, since we pronounce in English a long E. There's only one consonant in between the two vowels, or Ellen, primarily traced back to Greek, derived from Hellene, meaning torch or light. The core meaning of Ellen revolves around light, brightness, and shining qualities. You know, there was a trend going around for a while where if you searched Africa in your search bar, I don't know what happened. So, the Nile River in Africa, coming from what looks like an eye socket, spelled backwards, means torch, lamp, or light. Because what are we living on? I think this might explain why they drop so many bombs in the movie Kong and show as much as they do, such as him throwing a wooden spear or tree through the firmament. But this is all just for entertainment purposes only. Love you.
You think space is scary? NASA stopped exploring the ocean. What did they see that made them leave? Over 80% of our ocean is still completely unexplored. Meanwhile, we've mapped Mars down to the rocks. But get this, NASA used to focus on the ocean more than space. until one day they suddenly stopped. No explanation. In 1997, US sensors picked up a sound underwater louder than anything we've ever recorded. They called it the bloop. It didn't match any whale, any earthquake, nothing we know. There are underwater pyramid cities, entire ruins nobody talks about. The Mariana Trench is so deep it could swallow Mount Everest. And down there are creatures that survive under pressure that would kill us instantly. Many of them glow, some have no eyes. Others we've only seen once. Earth's longest mountain range? It's not on land, it's underwater. There's an entire ocean inside the Earth, 3 times the size of all surface oceans combined. There are underwater lakes, rivers, and even waterfalls below sea level, and one part of the ocean has 0 oxygen. Anything that enters dies. NASA says they shifted focus to explore moons like Europa, because it might have an ocean under ice that could host alien life. But what if the aliens were never out there? What if they've been down here this whole time?
See, this is what demons have done. They have contaminated words, extract the letter capital Y and insert it in its place through replacement theology, a letter born from a dyslexic Italian author and scholar, Gian Giorgio Tresino, and it has a whole different meaning. So we don't say praise and worship for Judah, we say worship and praise Yehuda. Now there's going to be people, what makes it makes a major difference. There's a scripture in John 14:6. Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but through me. So you take the word way, capital A-Y. I'm going to ask you a question, Brother Apollo. If you take the word way and write it rabbinically from right to left, you get the term Yah, then way.
Yeah, but this is on the English language, right? We've got hundreds of languages.
But what we have to do is turn it around. You see, you take the word, we're not twisting the scriptures, but to get inside of the original content of language, we have to turn it around. Because what the deep state linguists have done for the past 5,000 to 6,000 years was to corrupt the scriptures. The word of God is still the truth, but we have to go behind it, and it takes the Holy Spirit to do that.
You know, people are going to say, yeah, but that was like hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. But they're doing this right now. So you are not allowed to call pedophiles a pedophile, right? You're saying you have to say minor attracted person.
Yeah.
No, that's a file. You see, this is not MAP.
Right.
Of all the entities that cross the veil, none are more infamous than the shadow beings. They are a constant in paranormal reports, a universal symbol of the terror that watches from the dark. But what are they, truly? Our research classifies them as tall, human-like, shadowy masses, identified by their distinct glowing red eyes that pierce the darkness. They often appear to float or hover rather than walk. While their forms vary, one variant is reported with alarming consistency. A tall figure wearing a wide-brimmed hat and a long coat, known colloquially as the Hat Man. Their interaction with humans is among the most aggressive. They are known to surround victims in groups, and witnesses consistently report being forcefully pulled from their physical bodies during sleep paralysis episodes. This threat extends to active astral projectors as well, who can be targeted and forcefully dragged into the lower astral realms against their will. These entities do not speak. Their presence is silent and ominous. Their primary feeding method is the raw emotional energy generated by their victims. They deliberately create terrifying experiences to harvest the energy produced during states of intense fear. Protection, however, is possible. The most effective defense is to control your own emotional state. Maintaining high-frequency emotions like love and gratitude creates a vibrational environment that is inhospitable to these beings. Another primary technique is energy shielding. Visualizing a protective cocoon of white or golden light around your energy field before you sleep. The shadow beings are a fundamental threat, but they are not unbeatable. However, among their varied forms, one deserves a dedicated file. A specific, recurring nightmare seen across the globe.
I mean, it seems like he's saying we all universally have the same kind of nightmares. Can that connect us as a people? I mean, yeah, I know you're white and I'm black and we're supposed to not like one another because that's what the government taught us to do. But damn, who is this weirdo in my dream? You be seeing the same dude? Something is going on out here.
And the worst part is, they're always telling us.
No, Mom, it wasn't the actual devil. No, they were just dressed as the devil, Mom. I have to go. Yeah, you did warn me about Hollywood. Yes, you did, Mom. Yeah, you did. I will. Thank you. She said she'll be praying for all of us. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the devil and all the dark lords.
In this movie, you're fighting the devil. I call him Beelzebub, Lucifer. It's how I got this job. How did you prepare for the role of fighting with the devil?
I did research in satanic kind of cults and stuff like that. In Los Angeles right now, there's like 50,000 devil worshippers. That's not even including the agents.
Yeah.
But let me
Our crowd was too busy cheering satanic worship to hear the joke. That was the sad part.
My upbringing, I grew up in a Christian environment. It took me to my adult years or leaving home where I could really, really try on something different for myself. That was Satanism. It's working out really well. I made a pact. That's why the movie came out so well.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
Had we sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here?
Sammy told me he worshipped the devil. We were in Dan Tana's on that restaurant with all the pictures up. Sammy was like, Satan is as powerful as God. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He says, why do you think there's so much anger in the world?
But they're just joking, right?
The Prophet Muhammad said, if you ever enter a home and you see a snake inside your house, before you kill the snake, like to get it out, open the door of the house and warn the snake 3 times. If you don't leave, I'm going to kill you. If you don't leave, I'm going to kill you. If you don't leave, I'm going to kill you. Because it could be a jinn that is in that snake. They shapeshift. This goes back to the whole alien thing. You understand?
Yeah.
But she's singing about that. And in the video, you see shapeshifting. You see her zap the guy with magic. She's singing about magic. We know that magic is forbidden in the Abrahamic faiths. During Babylon, God sent 2 angels to test humanity. And they taught man at the price of selling the hereafter. Because he says, we taught man that which they should not learn. But if they were willing to trade their eternity for it, they were given knowledge that could be used to cause divorce and do all kinds of other crazy shit. And the occult is all about that, bro. It goes back to the time of Solomon. He found out what was going on. They were making manuscripts. He rounded up all the manuscripts, and supposedly, legend has it, he buried under what is today the Temple Mount. And when the Knights of Templar came, supposedly they found those manuscripts, which gave them the knowledge that they have to create everything that we have today. The banking system, everything came from that, supposedly. Again, this is, what I'm studying and what people believe, scholars of history and theology.
Right.
But it all goes back to Solomon, bro. Peace be upon him, one of the most important prophets to ever live. He had dominion over the dimension of light and the dimension of darkness. If you're suffering from the things I explained, research the evil eye. All you need is water that is charged with the words of God to cleanse yourself, make intention, pray to God directly. You can remove it from you by his grace. There's shit that goes on that most of us don't understand. Haunted houses, this, that. There is another world that is alive on this planet in a different dimension. I believe human beings have gotten to the point where not only do they work with them, they worship these beings. I believe the ancient Egyptians used to worship them. That's maybe how they built those pyramids. Solomon used them. And I believe that they figured a way to come into this dimension, and they still have their powers when they do. So you're going to see aliens, folks. It ain't aliens. It's demons here to convince you that God doesn't exist. If we see them. We might not. But if that happens, I promise you it ain't the aliens you're seeing in movies.
Watch Tupac. I'm going to pull this back so y'all can see it play. Happened right there. Right there too. But let's go back. Go back to this. These niggas are hybrids, man. This new energy coming to the sun is gonna fuck some of y'all up. Through the second sun. It's gonna... It's gonna burn some of y'all niggas up. If you got that RH negative blood, you a hybrid. God damn it, damn that shit. Your DNA is not made for going to higher dimensions. So y'all gonna probably be in trouble. That is clearly. Let's get close all the way up on that. And there's not no camera glitch, I keep going with it. That's Tupac. Somebody's been hybriding these motherfuckers on the planet. And we know who it is. They know who they are. Let's go back and play that again. I let it play regular speed. Let's go back again. Fuck it, I got time. Why this is important, all y'all gang member motherfuckers, y'all hanging, if you RH positive and you hanging around some RH negative gang member, get away from around him. He made for that shit, you not. Wake your ass. I'm talking to the RH positive. RH negative, I ain't got nothing against you, it's just that this damn new energy coming in is gonna fuck y'all up. Y'all gonna be going off on everybody for no reason. DNA issues. And I don't care if it offends some of y'all, fuck that. That's Tupac. Let's get close. That's Tupac. Let's keep going. That's Tupac. Reptilian hybrid, man. All these motherfuckers hybrids. P. Diddy hybrid. See, reptiles are gay by nature. They asexual. So let me show y'all something else.
Mind manipulation techniques that they're using. I know for a fact that the plan is to make all of us feel totally helpless. That what's happening is beyond our realm to affect because we've been taken over by aliens. That our Independence Day is dawning. So beware of that. Understand that those criminals have been keeping information and technology from us under their blanket of national security. They are 25 years ahead of us at least, technologically. Can you imagine what they've got now? 25 years ahead? What's happened that you're aware of in the last 25 years? Microwave ovens, we've got computerization, and they've had access to all of that to continue their own advancements. They're way ahead. So when they say, it's aliens, and they show us some incredible technology, don't fall into the trap of feeling totally helpless, that this is beyond our realm to affect. Superstition begins where knowledge leaves off. And they have been keeping knowledge from us for a long time. People have all kinds of belief systems, and I'm sure each and every one of you has various and different belief systems as well. Regardless of what your belief system is, it is imperative that you know that these criminals are people. They are within our realm to affect. They need to be held accountable for their actions and their crimes against humanity.
They do. And they will be. See, that's what the other side of the simulation is for. This is just my reasoning, so don't believe it because what do I know? I'm an old head. Gray hair. Don't listen to me. This is just what I believe, and I can believe what I want because I'm an American. But this side of the simulation is a test. And we have free will. You got the choice to be racist. Now, is that the right answer or the wrong answer on the test? I don't know. You got the choice to drink blood and worship one of these demons that told you it's an alien. Is that the right choice or is that the wrong choice? Well, we'll have to see when we get on the other side of the simulation. And I believe that's why these people in power don't want to die. They know what's waiting for them over there. But that's just a theory. It's probably not the correct theory. How do I know? But I do know this. We're gonna go to the next clip. I know that much.
Satan is described in Scripture as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. 1 Peter 5:8. The wicked one. Matthew 13:19. A liar and the father of it. John 8:44. The God of this age. 2 Corinthians 4:4. The adversary. 1 Peter 5:8. And the ruler of this world. John 14:30. All of these designations indicate a being that is evil and intent on our destruction. The Word of God teaches us to be on guard. One of the scariest descriptions of Satan is given by the Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 11:14, as he describes the danger of false teachers. And no wonder, for Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light. When we think of the devil, perhaps our minds imagine someone ugly, mean, evil. But Satan appears to the naive or unknowing as righteous and good. Paul's point here is to be aware that a false teacher may not appear to be false. In verse 15, Paul writes, "Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also transform themselves into ministers of righteousness, whose end will be according to their works." Be careful. The devil is devious and disguises himself and his servants effectively. Don't be fooled.
The Statue of Liberty could not be put on land according to maritime law. It had to be put in water. So they built harbor of New York and put the Statue of Liberty out there because the law said that they could not put it on land. Why? It's because the statue is called the Statue of Liberty, not the Statue of Freedom. We're not free. Liberty is what a sailor gets when you pull into port. You ask the captain if you can have a little free time, and if he allows you to, most likely he's not, but if he allows you to have some time, then you get liberty. You don't have freedom. So there's a world of difference between being a free American and having liberty. So that's why you couldn't put the Statue of Liberty on our land.
It's not the Statue of Freedom. It's a Statue of Liberty, which is only something that's given to you, permitted when they feel like it.
Exactly. And any government that can give you something can take it away. That's why civil rights, there is no such a thing as a civil right. That's why you have the American Civil Liberties Union, not a civil right, meaning civil comes from government, civility of the government. Well, anytime the government gives you something, the next administration coming in can cancel it. So you don't have any rights. You have a liberty, hopefully.
Can you give us one word, one esoteric word?
Television. Tell-a-vision. Telling a vision to your consciousness. So you turn on your television, you click on a program. What does a program do? Program surprise programming. On that program is a channel. A channel is a term used for communication with spirits or other worldly beings when somebody channels something. Often on these programs are something that is being broadcasted. So when you break down phonetically the term broadcast, it's a broadcast, like someone's casting a spell. You could cast a spell broadly. What is broadcasted? The news. News, N-E-W-S. That's an anagram for north, east, west, south. It is all directions being broadly casted.
Oh, wow.
So just be mindful when you turn on your television.
They're lying to everybody. The human sacrifice rituals are war. But do you know the root word for soldier is 2 words? Soul dyer. Huh. Soul dyer. One whose soul goes to die. That's the root word for soldier. It ain't a good thing. They make it seem like, oh, soldier's a good guy. No, fool. You are a human sacrifice. Surprise. That's what you are. You are a soul dyer. One whose soul goes to... Bro, the Marine Corps? Or is it the Marine Corps? Huh. Pretty funny. Why do they spell it that way? You know? So like these things perpetuate occultism, and we normalize it, and we normalize it. And then what happens when you normalize the wickedness? You can't tell what is of God or not. So you don't even know. You're clueless to it because you've got it absorbed in your psyche, in your mind, in your spirit, and everything around you. To understand God, you have to be in a place where you are uncompromised in your spirit. You're not doing things that conflict with you. When you conflict in your spirit, bro, that's distortion, and Satan comes in. He starts talking. And so like you cannot let yourself exist in that space of confliction.
I think the real reason why they're recalling all the healthy food is because they want us to consume alcohol and junk food. Because notice how it's not vodka getting recalled. Notice how it's not Little Debbie cakes and Mountain Dew and McDonald's McChicken sandwiches and Sour Patch Kids getting recalled. It's eggs. It's lettuce. It's lentils. It's tofu. It's blueberries. It's chia seeds. You can't even buy fucking dog food without there being maggots inside that shit. They want us to be so stressed out trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle that we turn to classic coping mechanisms such as alcohol and junk food and fast food because they realize big pharma and the fast food companies are losing business. This is the most healthiest generation we've ever had. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people are getting wise to their health. They're maintaining healthier lifestyles. They're meal prepping healthier foods. They're making better choices as to things that they're consuming. The liquor stores aren't filled with people anymore. Fast food lines are not filled with people anymore. Hospital rooms are losing business. Because that's the thing. Big pharma is a fucking business. Healthcare system is a business. Pharmaceutical companies are businesses. How do they maintain their pockets? Off the backs of sick people. Off the backs of people whose livers and kidneys are twisted the fuck up because they drank liquor their whole lives. Off the stomach linings that don't exist anymore because you ate processed, microwaved garbage your entire life.
Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you. Ha! To my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you. To my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding. But seriously, join. Thank you.